Howdy everybody, Johnny Piazza here, host of Dreammakers, and today we've got a very cool episode for you because we're meeting up with a young man who's got a very cool name. His name is Scout, and Scout is going to be going after a mule deer in Montana, and he's actually also going to get the chance to hunt for a cow elk. Now, whether he gets one or not, you're going to have to stay tuned and see. But regardless, this is going to be an awesome show with a lot of action and a lot of adventure, and of course you know, we're about to get it started right here on Dreammakers. So now Scout is a young man who absolutely loves the outdoors. You know, he could have had a lot of opportunities to do anything for his wish, for his big dream. But what he wanted to do was go hunting. And he didn't want to go hunting alone. He wanted to be joined by his dad, Chris. And that being said is, together, Scout and his family have been through a heck of a lot due to his illness. So the fact that they're gonna get to go out and do some hunting, forget about the real world for a little bit and just enjoy the outdoors, that's extremely special.
Scout's 17 years old. He suffers from epilepsy, which was an onset about 4 or 5 years ago. Me and his mom kind of consider him a miracle child. When he was about 6 months old, he was inflicted with a very rare infantile seizure disorder. And so we were blessed and thankful that we got his seizure stopped with the one medication that they have to treat it. Either it works or it doesn't. And did in his case, and we're very thankful. The neurologist, when he was 6-7 months old, said worst case scenario, he may develop another seizure disorder as he gets older. And sure enough, when he was about 13, the seizure started. So that's been difficult for him, especially with his age, losing his license when he has one. But we're hopeful that we have him a little bit under control.
Now, if we're gonna get Scout a big mule deer, fact of the matter is, you gotta go where they live. And here at the Outdoor Adventure Foundation, we know of one place for certain that has a bunch of mule deer running around, and that is none other than the Otawahi Ranch. So let me tell you about the Ossendorfs. First of all, they're some of the best people you've ever met, and I've actually been fortunate enough to meet them myself in the past. But they are a heck of a family that own this beautiful ranch out in the middle of Montana. Now, the family is made up of Mr. Dwayne, who is the main man, and then he's got his wife, Linda, who takes care of everybody on the property. She's gonna give you a big old hug when you arrive. And then we've got their son, Kelly. And Kelly normally takes our hunters out and has gotta be a 99.9% success rate with our hunters because he's just an awesome guy. And then you've got his wife, Stacy, who always makes sure that our recipients are feeling right at home. And then I, of course, cannot forget about the sweetest kids you've ever met in the world, and those are the Ossendorf kids. Now, these are Kelly and Stacy's kids, and first we've got Sophie, then we've got Sawyer, then we've got Elena, and then last but not least, we've got Lincoln. So here on Dreammakers, we have a bunch of great supporters, just like the Ossendorfs, that contribute and donate and allow recipients to go on this hunt. They contribute monetarily, they contribute to their time, they donate hunts, and these people just get involved and make these hunts happen. Now, for those of you that don't know, Dreammakers is brought to you by the Outdoor Adventure Foundation. And the Outdoor Adventure Foundation is an organization that specializes in providing hunts and other outdoor adventures to youths under the age of 25 with life-threatening illnesses and disabled combat veterans. And the only reason we're able to do it is because of people like the Ossendorfs. So, Scout, I'll tell you what, you're in good hands because when you show up at the Ossendorf Ranch, I don't care if you met him or not, you're family.
Well, we're here.
Yeah. Oh man.
Well, hello there.
Hello there.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm Chris. Shona.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Chris.
Thank you so much for
I'm
having
Scout.
us.
Showing rock?
Scout, nice to meet you. What do you think?
It's beautiful. It's just unbelievable.
Well, welcome.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
Yes.
Now, when Scout came out here, he thought that he was just gonna get the opportunity to hunt a mule deer, which is freaking cool on its own. But the Ossendorfs being the good people that they are, and this being the game-rich place that it is, they actually are gonna hook Scout up with the opportunity to go after a cow elk, because they've got a bunch of elk running around this property. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna see if they can put Scout on one. They're not gonna let it screw up the mule deer hunt, but they're just gonna go out and see what they can do. Now, Kelly is a mule deer master, and he's taken out a whole bunch of our recipients on this property and have taken a bunch of mule deer, a bunch of great mule deer. But that being said, is what he thinks is gonna be harder is the cow elk. So that's what they're gonna go after first. Now, Kelly is actually really big into hunting elk. You know, he's shot a bunch of bulls in the past. He shot them with his bow. You know, he's taken Sawyer out on some hunts, and they've just had a really good time going after elk in this property because the fact of the matter is they got some big bulls running around. But that being said, is on this trip, they're gonna go after a cow elk. And the fact of the matter is that Kelly learned everything he knows from Dwayne. So Dwayne is saying, Kelly, stand to the side. I'm taking Scout out, and I'm gonna see if I can get him a cow. Stick with us. Dreammakers will be right back.
These dreams are made possible by Cullen Children's Foundation, Sanford Health, the Alex Stern Family Foundation, Anderson Trucking Service, and Shields.
So we've got a few animals to go after on this trip, but before we go after anything, the first place Scout has to go is the range.
Looks like up and right. Get a full view with the scope, and then you pull back till there's a shadow ring. And then make that shadow kind of even all the way along the whole edge of the scope, and that way you know you're centered in the scope.
Okay.
So try that once. Give her one more. Let's see if it's to the right again. Let's go hunting.
Now, Dwayne may have a few years on his son Kelly, but that doesn't mean nothing because this man knows exactly what he's doing, and he's taking these guys way in the back country to hopefully get a cow.
We're out in Montana. It's definitely a different style of hunting than Minnesota. You know, Minnesota, we crawl up in a deer stand and we wait for them for hours to walk by. Out here, it's a lot of kind of spot and stalk. And Dwayne over here has got the spotting scope out. Yeah, so it's a fun style of hunting. It's different than what we're used to. We're just trying to spot an elk, and then if Dwayne spots one, then we'll figure out how to get to it.
So Scott, Dwayne, and Chris work down in this draw where they're hoping to find a cow. And they come up on an elk. You know, all they can see is, kind of some hooves. They know it's an elk. But after a while, much to their surprise, it's not a cow. It's actually a really nice bull. Now keep in mind, Scout, unfortunately, only has a cow tag. He doesn't have a bull tag. And here he is looking at this big, beautiful bull. And I don't know what it is. I'm telling you, every hunter has experienced this. It's like when you're out and you're going after cows and does, all you see are bulls and bucks. It's crazy. So they're gonna sit back and enjoy this opportunity because it ain't every day that you get 80 yards from a bull like this. Stick with us. Dreammakers will be right back.
These dreams are made possible by Cullen Children's Foundation, Sanford Health, the Alex Stern Family Foundation, Anderson Trucking Service, and Shields.
Howdy everybody, Johnny Piazza here, welcome back to Dreammakers. Now, we've been on a hunt with our recipient Scout out in Montana, and he was just chasing a cow elk. Now, that being said, he saw a beautiful bull, but he didn't have a bull tag. But that's okay, because they're gonna forget about the elk for a little while, because their main focus is a big mule deer buck. So they're gonna join back up with Kelly and head out to some of his mule deer honey holes in search of a big buck.
We're getting ready to head out and try to get scout that mule deer buck. I think start out in some flatter ground, do a little scouting. So we're gonna scout that and see how that goes. And then we may end up, back at a little higher country and scout in the higher country, but we're gonna start down low and see what that leads to.
So true to form for the Otawahi Ranch, these guys come up on a group of mule deer with a pretty nice buck in it pretty quick. Now this is actually not a bad buck, all right? And they're kind of looking at him, they're thinking about shooting him, but the fact of the matter is that Kelly knows that there are deer running all over this property, all right? He's got a bunch of bucks pegged, and really he doesn't want Scout's hunt to be over. He wants him to experience this hunt. That's what the Outdoor Adventure Foundation is all about, experiencing the outdoor adventure, not just shooting the first animal you see. So what Kelly's gonna do is they're gonna pass this guy. He knows where he is, they're gonna go see what else they can find, and if they have to, they'll come back and take a crack at this guy.
I was just thinking to myself when we were driving away, wow, I hope we don't regret that, because it was a really nice, I think it was a 3x4, a heavy, so it looks like maybe the pre-rut might be starting. Looked like he was getting territorial already. But yeah, we ended up letting him go, passing him up. He was about 150 yards away. But the Ossendorfs, they know what they're doing. And so we drove away from that one. So we'll see what comes next.
So our recipient Scott has been having a good time, all right? He came really close to that bull elk. He got up on another mule deer, but they decided not to shoot. And then he saw a whole bunch of other mule deer all over this property. But, he just hasn't pulled the trigger yet. But him and his dad, Chris, have just been enjoying the outdoors and being together. But that being said Kelly's taking these guys back to a spot where he thinks he knows he's got a few bucks pegged. They're gonna head out there right now.
I think what we'll do, Dad, is we'll just drive along the draw here and go to the back first and see what's back there. Okay.
There he stood up. He's right in line with the tree.
I'm looking at him.
Yeah. It's like a fork, maybe? I can't quite tell. You're right. You gotta step out from that tree. It's kind of blending in.
I think it's a fork. It's just.
What about the
ones
on the other thing?
Looks like a fork.
Some to the left.
Yeah, there's some down at the bottom too.
So sure enough, they get down to Kelly's spot and there are mule deer everywhere. It's towards the end of the day, the lighting is beautiful, so these guys are just enjoying checking out the mule deer and looking for a buck. Now after a while, they spot their first good buck, But the thing is that when you look at this deer's face and body, you can just tell that he's a little bit younger. He's a little more narrow and a little taller, but hey, me personally, I think that's cool as heck on a mule deer because it's more uncommon. But that being said is this buck has them pegged. He's looking right at them. He knows exactly where they are and what they're doing. So they really can't make a move on this guy. So they're gonna take off and go see if they can find another one.
These dreams were made possible by Cullen Children's Foundation, Sanford Health, the Alex Stern Family Foundation, Anderson Trucking Service, and Shields.
So the guys come up and bam, there's a couple bucks out in the field. And one of them is actually a really nice one. He's real wide, good looking deer. So Kelly's gonna see if he can get Scout and place for a shot.
One looking at us right now?
Sit down here. He's a 3x3, but he's really wide. Well, I'm trying to figure out how to do this because there's a bunch of does right here. We can't drive over there, and if they see us walking,
There's two of them lined up there, right? Yeah. Be the one to the left and closer. Come on. He's turning back. The other way, you see that? Good broadside.
good shot. Good shot. Oh, there he goes. He's gonna go down. Perfect. Congratulations.
Oh man.
Congratulations.
Dude, thank you so much. You're a lifesaver for getting that rifle out, dude. You're a lifesaver for getting that out. Pretty wide. Casing, I'll remember. Bullet casing, I'll remember.
Yep, that, you'll never lose that.
Yeah, no. All right, well, I wanted to say thank you to the Outdoor Adventure for giving me a hunt of a lifetime. It's kind of crazy, you know. Most kids don't get to do this, and I just whacked a pretty nice one. Kelly, Dwayne, all the Ostendorfs here, they're a really welcoming family.
It was, I was emotional, and I wasn't even the one pulling the trigger. I'm so happy for him. I'm so thankful for Kelly and Dwayne and Linda, you know, opening up this opportunity for Scout and me. It meant I think it means as much to me as it does to him, and I just can't thank him enough. You know, really appreciate it.
Hunting with my dad is a lot of fun. It was a really good time to go for something different, which was a mule deer, and he got to witness me shooting it, which was really awesome. Something that we're going to remember for a long time.
I think what this, you know, the idea of this hunt gave him something to look forward to. And, you know, we drove in the driveway yesterday, and he said it hit him. And he said, "Dad, it's real. It's like, this is going to happen." So Scout said other things, you know, happened in his life that haven't been fair. And so I'm happy for him. And I'm thankful to the foundation, the Ostendorfs. You know, Lee Ostendorf is a friend of mine, and he's Dwayne's brother, and he's aware of Scout's condition. And, you know, if it wasn't for him, I don't know if this would have happened either. So he was really the person behind all of this.
Well, taking off?
Taking off.
All right. Thanks for coming. Nice meeting you guys.
Yes.
Very,
Thank you for having us. Never forget it. Never forget it. Yes.
So our recipient Scout got his buck, and he got to do it with his dad. And you know, this family has been through a lot in the past. So the fact that they got to come out here and go on a hunt for a mule deer with absolutely awesome people, his big outdoor dreams have officially come true. And that's what this organization is all about, folks. You know, people out there like the Ostendorfs that get involved with the Outdoor Adventure Foundation and donate their time, donate funds, donate a hunt. They make a difference. And now that you've watched this hunt, you've seen how it's changed Scout's life and the life of his dad, because there ain't nothing better than going in the outdoors and having fun with your son or your father. Now, we've got to thank the Ostendorfs for everything that they continue to do, because they're continuing donors, folks. And we have a lot of people out there like that continue to get involved year after year and make sure the recipients are supported. And that's how we make these big outdoor dreams come true. So if you're out there and you've liked what you've seen and you want to be an Ostendorf, all you've got to do is check out the information we've got on the screen, where you'll find everything you need to do in order to become a dream maker yourself. And if you're out there and you're looking for an even easier way to give, all you've got to do is text GIVE2OAF at 21000 using our spare change app, where all your spare change will be donated towards our mission. It's a really small way for you to give, but it makes a huge difference to us. Now, I'm your host, Johnny Piazza, and I want to thank you for watching today's episode, because we've got a bunch of great recipients and a bunch of great outdoor adventures coming to you all the time. But if you want to see them, you got to keep tuning in right here on Dream Maker.